Step into this room, and the first thing you notice is the warmth. The walls are painted in soft, welcoming tones, and a young, expectant mother stands in the center, physically grounding herself in the future she imagines for her daughter. Every detail reflects her anticipation. Small pink clothes hang neatly in the closet, plush toys wait on shelves, and a wooden cradle sits ready. This room is her way of welcoming a child she already loves. But that affection exists in a state of siege. Outside these walls, her family and her immediate community demand a male heir. To them, a daughter represents a failure of expectation, a disappointment they refuse to hide. This pressure creates the condition known as gender disappointment. As external expectations converge on the family unit, they act as a corrosive force, dissolving the internal bonds of the home and isolating the mother within her own sanctuary. She is trapped in an impossible conflict. Her maternal instinct to protect her child clashes with a growing, suffocating fear that her daughter will be rejected by everyone meant to keep her safe. Eventually, the psychological weight becomes too heavy to sustain. The family leaves, and the house is abandoned to the dust. No doors are kicked in, and no voices are raised. The home simply hollows out from the inside. The carefully prepared nursery remains as a silent vacuum, a physical monument to the trauma of a love that was made conditional. As years pass, the house decays. The pink clothes fade under layers of dust, and the air grows heavy with the atmosphere of things left unsaid. But the mother's grief has left a permanent imprint. Her spirit returns to the nursery, wearing the same pale clothing from the days she spent waiting, her hair stirred by a wind that doesn't exist in the physical world. This haunting follows a specific pattern. While traditional entities are defined by aggression and malice, a grief-bound spirit is characterized by protective, repetitive actions. She is not an intruder, but a resident caught in a loop of mourning. When she moves through the rooms, she cradles the air as if she's holding something fragile. She is carrying the symbolic presence of the daughter she was never allowed to raise. This presence is her reaction to the family's original rejection. In death, she attempts to provide the sanctuary and care that the living world denied her child. These events function as a physical manifestation of trauma, a loop that refuses to close because the original wound remains unaddressed. Her presence alters the environment itself. Lights flicker as she passes, security cameras capture static glitches, and rooms that should be warm suddenly fill with the visible mist of a cold breath. Inside the nursery, the activity is strangely nurturing. The empty wooden cradle rocks with a steady, rhythmic motion, and the mobile spins overhead as if moved by a careful hand. The sounds of the house change as well. Occasional bursts of children's laughter echo through the halls, only to fade into the distant, rhythmic sound of a baby crying. Perhaps most telling are the physical marks left behind. On fogged mirrors, tiny handprints appear, pressed against the glass from the inside, as if the child is trying to signal her existence. The cradle, the cries, and the handprints all converge on a single purpose. The spirit is using the only power she has to validate the child that society tried to ignore. She remains a mother without a child, caught in an attempt to soothe a soul the world tried to erase before it was even born. This cycle finally encounters something new. A young girl from the neighborhood wanders onto the grounds, stopping beneath a giant oak tree where the spirit stands waiting. For the first time, the spirit is met with a gaze that holds no judgment. The girl looks at the glowing figure with the simple, direct curiosity of a child who hasn't yet learned to fear what she doesn't understand. This illustrates the empathy bridge. The spirit relived rejection for decades, but this child's absolute acceptance offers a bridge out of the trauma, shattering the cycle of conditional love. Being seen unconditionally shifts the energy, transforming the loop of grief into a wave of resolution. The mother smiles, tears reflecting the light. Her form dissolves into thousands of white particles, drifting upward as she leaves the house behind forever. The nursery is still. The cradle rocks one last time, and a faint baby's cry lingers in the air before fading into a peaceful silence. It serves as a reminder that the shadows we leave behind are often cast by the light we refuse to give. Every child deserves to be welcomed into a world that loves them for exactly who they are.